How desperate must one be to unhesitatingly point a gun at oneself like this? In the police station, two policemen are making a record with sympathy on their faces. The man in front of them is hanging his head with red eyes. He is recounting the events in detail. Last night, he and his friends had a blast at his house until late. His wife was very angry. She sent everyone away because the children were sleeping, but he was still not satisfied. The wine at home was finished. After adding a few pieces of wood to the stove, he went out to the supermarket to buy wine. He didn't know if he forgot to put back the fire barrier. When he came back, the house had already been swallowed by a big fire. Firefighters carried out 2 black bags from the ruins. Those were his 2 children. His wife cried heartbreakingly until she fainted and was taken away by an ambulance. After the man finished saying these things, he quietly waited for his judgment. But as soon as the police spoke, they comforted him to mourn. They kindly arranged a vehicle to take him home. He didn't understand. He clearly committed a huge crime. When a policeman passed by, he suddenly took the other's gun and then pointed it at himself without hesitation. But the gun was not on safety. After he put the safety on, the police had already swarmed to hold him down. After that fire, his wife divorced him. He also moved away from his hometown, Manchester. He came alone to Boston where no one knew him. Now Lee lives in a basement. He is responsible for the miscellaneous chores of 4 buildings in the community. He has been working hard for many years, but he has received few good reviews because he always has a straight face. He looks like a walking dead. When a beautiful woman chats him up, he ignores her. When 2 men whisper about him, he directly goes up and fights. When he returns to the basement at night, he just turns on the TV and sits on the sofa until he falls asleep. He doesn't know if it's numbness or the tranquility after despair. Anyway, the days just go by like this. Until this day Lee received a phone call. It was from his hometown Manchester. He drove for a long time before he finally arrived at a local hospital. His brother had died. It was the old problem, caused by heart disease. He left the hospital calmly, prepared to pick up his nephew from school who still didn't know about this. In the school's hockey rink, the normally well-behaved nephew suddenly charged at an opponent. Then they started wrestling with each other. The coach came up to pull him away. He even swore at the coach. All these abnormal behaviors of the nephew were all because he saw you. The appearance of Uncle Lee meant that something had happened to his father.